What's good? Welcome to the First Street Podcast presented by Bet Rivers. On today's episode, we will get you all set for the NHL Finals between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche. We're also going to say, hey, let's look at our way too early favorites for the NBA championship in 2023. So let's get right to it, man. Let's kick. Once again, thank you for watching First Ring Podcast presented by Bet Rivers. Make sure that you download that Bet Rivers app or go to www.betrivers.com. You must be 21 years or older to play. So I told you we're going to get right into this NHL thing. Let me bring in my guy, Sid. What's good, Sid?
What's going on, my brother? What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, not too much. First off, let's say one thing. Are you ready, Sid? You ready for this?
I'm always ready.
Kyle was first in the building today. You know what he said.
It's a year older, Kyle. It's a year older. It's a year older.
First one in the building, he said, hey, listen, 28-3, followed by our guy, Bruce. What's good, Bruce, man? We thank you guys for being in here all the time and supporting us, man. Bruce, he beat you in the building, man. That's okay. Bruce said, all right. He said he got it. Kyle said he loves us. So, we good. Listen. So we just coming off of NBA championship. And you know what people usually do? Hey, we just had the draft. Let's look at who's going to be the first round pick next year. So we're going to sort of jump into that same boat. That's a little later. First, we're going to talk about this NHL game that's going to go down tonight so we can get everybody excited. They can play some bets and cash some checks. That's what we do, right? That's what we're here for.
Yes, sir.
Play some bets, cash some checks. Now,
cash some checks.
So, hey, we got to do a little homework. We got to do a little something every now and again and look into sports that we really not that up on, but we're up on. And playoff hockey is the best. Tell me what y'all think. Is playoff hockey the best? Bruce has already given it to us. He says Avalanche and the over tonight. Avalanche and the over. Okay, Bruce. Well, we got some things that we done looked up and things like that. So, say it. Did you know? I'm going to hit you with that first off, right? Did you know? Or do you know how many games the Avalanche have lost at home?
I think it's 5.
Say it. They are 23-5 at home. 23-5. At home.
Good guess.
This is some information that Bruce, you should have told us last episode when we're sitting here picking Tampa. We're like, hey, they've been sitting at home, chilling, drinking the Kool-Aid, sipping on some Mai Tais, right? It's the summertime. They out hanging out by the pool. Nah, these dudes are skating around with winter coats on and everything. They don't lose at home.
It's amazing when you actually think about it. As many games they play throughout the year, that at all the games they played at home, they've only lost 5. That's actually a pretty amazing stat.
A pretty amazing stat. Well, they do have 4 ties in there because in hockey you can tie, but
True.
To only lose 5 games. And you know what, Sid? And you know what? We should be ashamed of ourselves too because we was doing some Midwest out west picks, right? And Colorado stayed in our rotation. They stayed in our rotation, right?
True.
And how did we miss that? How did we miss that little teeny stat of 32-5 at home?
It's playoff hockey. Once you get to playoff hockey, anything can happen, man. Once you get into playoff hockey,
I believe in puck luck.
I like the way Tampa Bay is very aggressive. So I like aggressive hockey. For me, it makes it interesting for me. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, it does. The strategy hockey, the aggressive, we going in, we going to shoot every time we get it. I'm in that.
Now, listen, I'm going to tell you what. Watching that first game, what I did like was that Tampa never had no quit. They kept coming and coming and coming and coming. And Tampa's goaltenders, they get better. Hawk TV's in the building. What's up, Hawk? Hawk TV is in the building, always posting. Yeah, we're a little early so we can get you guys bets in. That way you can make it to the gate before the gate closes and you have to live bet it. All right. We want you to have the best odds, which I think it's about time we get into that. You want to get into it right now?
Sure.
All right. Let's get it
before game start.
All right. Hawk said, too bad the Caps are out of it. I know, man. I know. All right. Here we go. Let's get right into this, man. All right. So tonight's lines here at Bet River. All lines are brought to you by Bet River. Make sure you download that Bet Rivers app or go to www.betrivers.com. You must be 21 years or older to play, right? Hawk, I'm gonna get to your comment here in a second. All right. Tampa Bay on the puck line is plus 1.5. That's minus 200, right? That's minus 200. On the win line, they are plus 128, and the over is 6 goals, which is what we found out is usually around 6 goals, right? Mm-hmm. Colorado's minus 1.5, but that's plus money on the puck line. That's plus money on the puck line, plus 165, and they're minus 148 on the win line, which is the money line pretty much. And then that under is a minus the over is plus 102, and the under. So under 6 goals is minus 121 right now. That's on that Bet Rivers app. So said, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. It's no problem. I don't like the puck line that got going for Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I can't make the money off it right there. So, if I were to pick this game, I would go money line. I still like Tampa. I still think Tampa can pull this out and get a split. Matter of fact, I would go money line. I would go under. Because I don't think it's going to make the 6 goals this time. I think it's going to be more defense this game than it was last game. And
more defense this game. More defense this game. Yeah. I think that Tampa's goalie play is going to be better this game. I think they got shock and awe in that last one, right? A lot of shock and awe from the Colorado Avalanche. The Colorado Avalanche, man, I got to slow that down. They came out and played Tampa's game, which is Tampa's really fast. They get up at you, and they're just, before you know it, you're like, whoa, what happened to us, right? And Colorado came out and did that. Colorado's goalie is really good as well. Don't even start me on pronouncing hockey names because, as Paulie would say, the butcher's coming.
The butcher's coming.
Right. I'm not even going to try it, so you're not going to get me there. But yeah, I think as well, this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think Tampa does pull it out. I do like the that money line as well. I like that money line as well because you know what? How about we do this? All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go money line, right? I'm just gonna go money line. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Let's put down some other bets, right? Let's put down some other bets. So let's go real-time 3-ways, regular three ways, and then we'll look at one that does include some overtime and see where we are here, all right? So Tampa in the 3-way. Tampa is plus 190 for the straight-out win. The tie is plus 340, and then the Colorado is plus 112 in that 3-way right there. So which way would you go there? Say it. Regular time. This is regular time. This is regular time 3-way. Regular time 3-way.
Man, that's a good setup there. I probably just go with that setup the way it is there, and I wouldn't make any change to it because it give you an option of going both ways. So I think I would keep it the way it is.
So you think no? So I'm asking, what do you do? Regular time Tampa Bay win, the tie in regulation, or Colorado straight out win?
Tampa Bay.
You going Tampa? So it flipped to 190. All right.
Right.
Okay. I actually like that as well. But if I was gonna go Tampa Bay on the other one, I think I'm gonna take this plus 112. This plus 112 with Colorado and hedge my bet just a little bit, and so I do make some money one way or another. So I would hedge with this Colorado here. Yeah, that's what I would do. The player points, player shots. Where do you want to go? Say it. Let's go game props. Let's go game props. Here we go. Total shots on goal, including overtime, right? Total shots on goal. Avalanche, no overtime tonight, baby. That's what Bruce is saying. Avalanche is saying no overtime tonight. And then let's get back.
Ain't gonna be no overtime tonight.
Right. And then he says Caps got to get their stuff together next season. I got you, Hawk. You're absolutely right, man. I think they got to get a little bit younger, get some faster skates there. We got a couple of months before we're talking Caps again, but they do have to get it together. So total goals. Here is 70.5 is at minus 106, and under 70.5 is at minus 118.
7.5 shots, you mean?
7.5 shots on goal. On goal, shots on goal.
Right.
So that's either deflected by the goalie or hits the pole, but it has to make it to the goalie, right? So would you like the over or the under?
70 shots. Oh man.
This is total shots for both
teams. I know you're talking about total shot with both teams. That's what I'm thinking. It's about 35 apiece. Give me the over on those shots.
All right. Hey, Bruce, tell us what you like. Hawk TV, tell us what you like here. I like the under myself. I like that under 70.5. Hey, you like the over. I like the under on that one right there. Total shots on goal by Colorado, including overtime. This is at 39.5. That's plus 100. And under 39.5 is minus 125. Bruce said he likes the over on that 70.5 shots on goal. That's both teams. And now where are we with the Colorado? Say who you like, what you like. I'm sorry.
I mean, Bet Rivers is telling you to go over. 39.5 is more than 35.
They telling you go over. They telling you go over on Colorado. Telling you to go over
total shots, man. If Colorado's 39, 35 and 35 is 70. I mean, I already picked the over. So I mean, hey, give me the over.
Yeah. I'm going under that 39. That's 40 shots on goal that they got to hit. That's 40 shots on goal, really. So I'm going with that under 40 shots for the Avalanche. So I'm going to go with that under.
That's not including overtime. Include overtime.
That's including overtime.
Okay.
That's including overtime. So total shots on goal by Tampa Bay Lightning is at 31.5. That's plus 100, and minus 31.5 is minus 125. There, I'm gonna go first on this one. Saying I like their over. I like Tampa's over of 32 goals. Pretty much, I like that over there. I mean, they both.
I like the way they did that. That's pretty slick by them. That's pretty slick by them. Yeah, I like
that. They got to keep the market balance, right?
Hey, they're pretty slick. 39 by one, 31 by the other. Okay, they're pretty slick there. They're trying to keep it in the window. Okay, I got you.
The 70.
But I'm gonna take the over.
You taking the over? You taking the over on both? You taking the over?
I think it's more. I think it's gonna be more than 70 shots. So I mean, I can't go under.
Well,
I can't go under. 39 and 31 is 70
all day. All day. All day it is. All right. Total power plays goals, including overtime. Total power play goals, including overtime, is at 1.5. It's set at 1.5. It's plus 115 for the over. It's minus 143 for the under. Power play goals. That's when. I'm just going to say it. And I know everybody here is smart, but that's when one team has an extra skater and the other team has somebody in the penalty box. So
you say plus 1.5?
Plus 1.5. So that's 2 goals, 2 power play goals. And both of these teams are pretty good at killing penalties. But I do like the over because at some point in time, your special teams, they're going to break. And so I'm going to say 2 goals out. 2 goals. It's game time.
Give me the under. Give me the under.
You want the under?
We already picked the win, so you can give me the under on that one. I know those lines are about to change because the game has started. But
the game that started. Hey, you see it right here. You see it right there in that corner.
Yeah.
All right. The game has started as we promised. We was going to lead you up till game time, and now we pretty much just have our last bit to talk about, which is some of the NFL schedule, training camps and everything like that. We're not gonna hold y'all long. It's a 30-minute show. We're gonna get in. We're gonna get out. It's a true OG classic here. But said training camps have been announced and things like that. There he is. There you go.
What up?
Hail to the W. Hail to the
W, man.
Hey, we got to get you on the record because we know you got that sports almanac over there to your side again. That Back to the Future sports almanac. We know you got it. So, tell us who's winning this series, Paulie? Colorado or Tampa?
Who winning the series?
Yeah.
Oh, Colorado.
Colorado. Hey,
yeah,
you heard
it's
it here
hard
again.
It's hard to get 3 in a row, buddy.
Hey, you heard it here again. Paulie got that sports almanac from Back to the Future. He done been in that DeLorean. He came back with it. Stick with us. Stick with us. Hey, so yeah, the training camp schedules have been announced and things like that. Say found some interesting stats, right? Of course, we know Washington is not doing any joint practices with anybody. But tell us whose practices you wanted to go see.
We hold on. We were supposed to do one with Buffalo, but Buffalo got a stick up their ass over J.D. McKissick.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I would too when he did the
I didn't know that.
flop.
Yeah, that was in the works.
Paulie, you got a smokehouse going on in there.
Yeah, man.
You got a fire to the
That's that good killer.
It's Paulie, do you wish your wife somebody can't see?
Yeah, man.
You say I can't see.
Hey, bro. That's my sports almanac on fire.
Yeah. Hey, what'd you say, Sid? What'd you say?
No, I was saying that if there were some training camps I could attend just to see, the information from the different teams or how the teams are coming together, playing together. I got some interesting teams, like Denver, Russell Wilson in Denver, Tyreek Hill in Miami. Of course I would go to Atlanta because I want to see Atlanta. But I mean, the Chargers, they've added to their roster. There's some. I would like to go to one. Probably one out of each one of their training camps. Not every day, but one. Just one day, just to watch and see. Even Indianapolis. I don't hate Matt Ryan. I just want time for Matt Ryan to leave. But how well does it make? How are they gelling in Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't get inside information. We can't watch each one because that's not public. That's not public. Television, it uses local and then it's local and limited. But I mean, if I could go to a training camp, those are a few that I would like to attend. Denver, Miami, the Chargers, Kansas City, hell, even Buffalo. Oh. With everything. I'm talking about these teams that have major changes within their team, additions and subtractions, to see how they gel and see how they come together.
I got you. Well, we all know that the Commanders have put out their schedule for training camp. Their training camp runs from July 27th through August 18th, and they will have a public event at FedEx Field, which will go from like 6:45 to 9 p.m. That will happen on August 6th at FedEx Field. Their training camp this year is going to not be in Richmond. It's going to be out in Ashburn, Virginia. So that's another little trip. I'm waiting for Paulie to come back to find out if he's going up to training camp this year. And if so, when will he be attending? Because, I'm thinking of taking a trip up north and going and drop the 100-degree weather off there and come back to 80-degree weather. Come back with some 80s.
It's hot there too, player. Hey, just so you know, it's hot there too, player.
I figured out why the Dallas Stars can't make the Stanley Cup playoffs because the ice keep melting.
The ice, man, who you telling?
I mean,
like you guys, the Falcons start training camp on July 29th, actually, and runs all the way out to August 25th. It's not every day. They got two joint practices with Jacksonville, which we have to play in the first week of preseason, which should be nice, for us to see how these guys work. My thing is, like I was telling you earlier, which we may not see. I would like to see these guys play in preseason. They ain't got to play the full game, but I would like to see them play.
And I think it's the other way, Shad. I think it is that the coaches can control injuries a lot better in the scrimmages rather than they can in the game. Because in the game, they have to go full speed, right, all the time. And these joint practices, they get work. They get really good work, right?
No, we didn't. I can go off what happened. I'm talking about, I can go off what happened to us last year.
Your team wasn't ready last year.
Of course, they didn't play. That's what I'm saying. They didn't play in preseason. They only played the joint practices. They got out there in the offensive line, and the offensive line was not worked. They got work during the season because they got worked.
When you have that joint practices, though, those guys get real good work. They have their periods individually, right? They put their individual periods up, and then they do those team practices where, hey, I'm not going to let this dude dog me out. It's offense versus defense, my offensive line versus your defensive line, and then my defensive line versus your offensive line. They do one-on-ones so they can correct things and do it that way. But they also go at each other hard. They go hard these practices.
But it's still only 2 days.
But Tempest Flare
it's 2 days. It's 2 days, and it's not a full game.
It's not a full game. No, it's not a full game, but you can control.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is it's different because this week is not going to be the same as next week, which means they got to prepare harder for the following preseason game. Anytime they got to play the whole game, they can come in the first 2 series. Next game, play 3-4 series. Next game, you go out to halftime because it's game 3. Last year, we didn't do any of that. In this offense, we had dudes in week 8 getting 2-stepped at the line. We can't have that this year.
But what are you going to see in a preseason game that you can't see in a practice?
One, you got a center that retired. He got to be replaced.
Well, you can see that in practice.
I'm going to tell you. Wait. I'm going to tell you. You had a center that retired. He has to be replaced.
Right.
You got an offensive lineman that they didn't get rid of who they should have got rid of. Now they got to find out whether or not they're going to, well, should we get rid of them now because we drafted 2 offensive linemen, or should we let them stay? You're not going to find it out against the same team because sometimes some people play better against one team, may not play the same way against another team. You see what I'm saying?
That's facts. I get that part, but you can see if the person is picking it up in the practices, because literally, the coaches know what they calling, and they could have it up and everything like that, right? And then they could see how this person blocked it, break it down. Because remember, now they see everything. They sitting up way in them cranes, right up top. They know what's called. They got the calls. They see it. They can zoom in. They got multiple angles that we don't even think about. You got that ground level angle because they got people with the cameras on the ground. You got that angle up top. So now they know, hey, your hand placement wasn't right here. Or if it's a center, you didn't make the correct call and the quarterback had to fix it, right? Or my line shifted the wrong way because you made the wrong call. And you can see all of that real time in practice too. So
that didn't work for us last year. I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm saying for us, that didn't work last year. Because if you're in week 8, this guy started. Now I ain't talking about he came out the bench. He started. Week 8 right here in Dallas. You can't get 2-stepped at the line.
Well, listen, the caliber of player has something to do with that too.
But see, that goes back what I said. But you're playing against the same team for 2 games.
Yeah, but listen, the caliber of player, you could practice. You could best believe that you could practice all day versus Von Miller.
Right.
Let's just say you practice versus Von Miller, right? No, hold on. How about this? I give you a better one. Chicago Bears, right? The Chicago Bears back in the heyday, right? Their offensive tackles practiced against Wilbert Marshall.
Right.
Wilbert Marshall, a real good player, right?
Right.
And then during the season, they had that dude from New York, Lawrence Taylor, lined up. Another really good player. Now, I might have did great versus Wilbur. I might have handled everything that Wilbur gave me that week during practice. But Lawrence Taylor going to give me something extra. He's going to give me something different.
Right.
So I mean,
you're answering my question without me having to say anything. You do know that, right?
That's just saying that the calendar, who you play today is not who you play tomorrow.
Right.
So,
see, what I'm saying is,
it may just not have been his day.
You're answering the same question that I'm saying. You're playing against the same 2-3 guys for 2 days real hard. You're gonna pick up nuances from those same 2 or 3 guys. True,
but it just may not have been his day.
Wait. If you play DB, if say for example you and Juju Smith when against each other, boom. By the end of practice, you're gonna know what about Juju Smith. Talk to me.
First off, I'm gonna know Juju. I'm gonna see some differences in his breaks. I'm gonna watch his hips a little bit. Right. Pause. I'm not, watching his hips to see where he break it down. I'm concentrating on his speed. Do I need to back up a little bit? Can I get hands on him? Right. Okay. Now who am I playing next?
Okay.
Who's the receiver I'm playing next week?
Now, next week you got Antonio Brown come in. Right.
Okay.
I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah, this is the same thing.
It's a different person. You're not gonna know those nuances because you haven't practiced against them in 2 days. So now
I don't need to practice against him. I'm gonna listen to my scouting reports. My scouting report gonna say, "Hey, he don't like to be jammed," and I gotta know myself. I gotta know myself. Can I really get hands on him? Am I physical DB at the line? Am I gonna put hands on this dude and make him reroute? Right? How good is he at rerouting? Once he reroute, what I gotta do?
In practice, the scout team is gonna have somebody who does what?
They may not. You may not have that on your scout team.
Come on, Piggy. You're going online, and the scout. It's just like when Michael Vick is a quarterback. When Michael Vick is a quarterback, the scout team had what? You can't duplicate what Michael Vick did. But you had a faster person. He played quarterback, right?
Play quarterback, right?
Right. So you had somebody you're adjusting to a different person. Again, this is a different person.
Antonio Brown is the best wide receiver on this squad.
I'm just giving you an example. I ain't saying he's the best wide receiver. I'm just giving you an example.
But you got to do your homework. That's why these guys
got to do homework. But
the thing is, may not have been his day, just like it could be not my day. I may say Antonio Brown don't like to be jammed.
No pick. It wasn't just one game.
But I'm saying Antonio Brown might not like to be jammed. And I get up here and I know, hey, I'm a 50-50 jam guy, right? Antonio Brown don't like to be jammed. And I'm a 50-50 jam guy. Sometimes I get you, sometimes I don't. Right? and it just so happened that I miss, and Antonio Brown he's twerking in the end zone on me.
I can agree. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I see what you're saying. I can agree with that.
It just might not be my day. Right? But I can tell you that
I can agree with that. I can't agree with that. I
can tell you on the other hand, what you get by not having no joint practices like Washington. Washington hasn't had a joint practice since Houston when we had the fight, when we had the melee, right? Yeah, the fans was there. We was hyped. Get him, Trent. Get him, Trent. Trent Williams in there swinging, bobbing and weaving, right? We haven't had a joint practice since. Right, we had that deal in Richmond where we couldn't have nobody come up, or we couldn't go to nobody else, or whatever. And your team don't get better that way, banging on each other. So I really would take the Atlanta approach of having joint practices, because if it didn't work, other teams wouldn't do it. And more teams have joint practices than don't have joint practices, right? Because they get to see this. They get to see themselves versus somebody else, because you start to know what your teammate likes, what your teammate doesn't like, right? You start to know your route combinations, right? We know our own route combinations. Our DBs don't get a true sense of when to break, when not to break. And then next thing you know, Antonio Brown is twerking in the end zone again, right? So I'd rather have that joint practice and go against some other NFL caliber teams. And not everybody got a special player on their team, but the Commanders, let's see. The Commanders have 3 preseason games, and on our preseason games, we have, oh God, I should know this by heart. Our preseason games, we have the Carolina Panthers. We have the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. That's at FedEx Field. Oh no, that's at the Chiefs. At the Chiefs, we're there, and then we're at the Ravens, right? So we have 2 of the best quarterbacks in the AFC on our preseason list. You think I don't want to go up to Kansas City early and practice versus that with all of that speed? And our secondary's got questions, and our linebackers got questions. And can you cover Travis Kelce, Jamin Davis? Can you cover him? I mean, we don't know. Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens, the run-heavy team. Can we stop the run? That's a great question to find out in practice, is because they're going to give you that run. But can you fill those holes? Are you going to the correct holes? Are you arriving with bad intentions and we blow the whistle? That's what I need to know. Do I see 11 hats on the ball versus their running game? Can we contain Lamar Jackson? We're not going to have Chase at the beginning of the series, right? At the beginning of the season. Can we contain Lamar Jackson? Can we keep him inside that pocket and make sure he got nowhere to step up? Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Terrence Matthews, right? Can those three do that? Push that pocket, right? Have a 3-yard party in Baltimore's backfield, because they got a good offensive line as well. So it's some questions to be answered there. And then flip that around. They invested heavily in their secondary. Are our wide receivers explosive enough to exploit their secondary, to get separation versus those guys? Man, I would love to have those questions answered in practices and not have to even see them in the games.
Right.
That's the two sides of that, man. Y'all tell us what y'all think. Would y'all rather have joint practices or not? Appreciate everybody's comments. Wayne, what's good, man? Didn't know if you made it home or not. Paulie.
Yo.
Are you in favor of joint practices or not in favor of joint practices?
Oh yeah, man. Joint practices are always good, man. It's always good to practice your skill against other competition.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Yes, always good, because you get to see something different and find out how you really measure up versus some other hungry dogs.
Practice get monotonous, especially when you know what the route gonna be, you know what you're trying to, what the other team trying to do. You know what I mean? A lot of players look better in practice than they really are, because they've been doing the same stuff for 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm,
you know what I mean? So you already know.
Okay, so said, and I'm not picking on you, said, but said, okay, here's the scenario, Paulie. Hey, Linda,
you ain't got to run that scenario back.
Hey, said this guy got 2-step. This guy got 2-step, and they had some joint practice. It just what I say is just wasn't his week. It just wasn't his week, right? This is the NFL. You're gonna have some days where you play some great superstars. You're gonna have some days when you play some players that are below your average or they hurt.
He played garbage all year. That just happened to be the highlight of the year.
Was when he got 2-step.
That was a highlight, because when it happened, they zoomed in from when the announcer zoomed in. Like, man, did he touch him?
No, he didn't. Hey, and who was that against? Was that against the rookie?
The Cowboys.
Was it against
Michael Parsons? I don't even remember who it was. I know the offensive guard Mayfield didn't touch. He didn't touch it. The dude
it was Michael Parsons.
It
was Michael Parsons. Yep, it was Michael Parsons. But yeah. I think that's all it was, man. It just was not his day. Linda's in the house. L Boogie's in the house. He said, "How about them hogs?"
L Boogie,
piggy. Hey,
what the hogs on?
Hey, I think she's talking that baseball. I think let me get back into there. Let me get into that sports center real fast to see actually who won that game. Linda, you tell us who won that game right here. We get back into the ESPN real fast. Let me go to home. Hogs. The record to Jay. Just stopping by to say hello. You about to go celebrate? Yep, she going to celebrate. L Boogie had one for us. Hey, Paulie,
Where you been at, Boogie?
Are you going to training camp, Paulie?
Am I going to training camp? Which training camp gonna be at this year, man?
It's in Ashburn.
Ashburn.
He looking down. He don't see it.
Nobody wants Dan. I seen the bottle. Nobody wants Dan in their city.
No, you did. You trust me. You didn't see the bottle. Did you see the bottle?
Yeah, he got first string on it. I seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. He's seen that before.
Yeah. Dan, hey, nobody wants Dan in their city, man.
No. Are you going up to training camp or to the FedEx?
No. You say it's in Ashburn. I'm saying because nobody wants Dan in their city, man. How's your wife? How's your kids?
Hide your wife. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. Hide your kids. I remember that joint. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody wants Dan in the city.
All right,
man. Hey, well, we got our picks in, man. I'm thinking about getting up there. We'll see. I got some vacay time coming up. I earned, so we're gonna find out.
Yeah, man. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They ain't really Ron and them ain't exciting me, man. No, man, they ain't giving me that early excitement, man.
Hey, say it. How was that birthday? How was that birthday, Papa Doe?
Hold on, Wayne's birthday. What's up, my God? Chef Curry, baby.
Chef Curry.
I got it to go, man, and I got everything. I got some catfish. I got some gumbo. Ooh. I got some boudin. Ooh. I couldn't even eat it all, man. So it's in the fridge. I'm eating it again tonight. Hey. I said, let me get a little bit of this. Let me get a little bit of this. Let me get a little bit of this.
That Papa Do's.
Man, I'm full. Wait a minute. I was bobbing and weaving.
That Papa Do's, boy, that Papa Do's is delicious. I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all got a Papa Do's, make sure y'all stop in there, get some of that good food. It's outstanding. Shout out Papa Do's. Hey, shout out Bet Rivers. Make sure y'all download that Bet Rivers app and keep coming back to First Street Podcast. We are also on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on anything that you can find. So just in case you cannot watch us on YouTube while you're at work, you can always put us in your ear and run these episodes back. We upload each and every one of them after our show. And they are available the following day at 5 a.m. in the morning. 5 a.m. in the morning. In the morning. So you wake up, First Street Podcast in your ear. That's that brand new flavor. Hey, we told y'all we was going to get y'all in. We was going to be real quick. Hey, everybody have a happy Father's Day. A happy Father's Day. Thank y'all for supporting. If you're not a father and you're a mama, make sure you say happy Father's Day to that dude that made you a mama or whatever, even though, he ain't your daddy.
Yeah.
We call it the OG Classic because we get in and we get out.
Yeah.
You ready, Paulie?
I'm ready. Right. Let's go.
Hit him with it, Paulie.
L to the W, baby. L to the W. Chef Curry.
Screw the spread. I'm moneyline trap for the playoffs. So no different here in Game 6. I go Boston at home.